Alright, hey everybody, want to wheeze them here. It is early Tuesday morning, December 11th. Trying to get a couple unboxings taken care of here. If you can't tell from the Portal of Power, who we're going to unbox now is actually Bash. Like I kind of said in the previous unboxing, my initial plan was to hold out on basically, the current slew of Series 2 Repose single packs and wait out for triple packs. But the bottom line is, given that I have what'll likely wind up being packaged together in terms of the new Skylanders, Fright Rider obviously is in the mix. Did go ahead and pick up Terrapin Slam Bam. I basically ran into the sale at Toys R Us, buy one, get one 50% off. And obviously you pay $10 for one, you get the other for roughly $5. Pretty sweet deal. And like I said, kind of not knowing the triple pack still, I figured it made sense to just kind of pull the trigger on these. So that's what I did. This is Bash, his Series 2 Repose, which, again, it may not be one of my favorite Series 2 Reposes, just in part because they really did an excellent job with some of them, but this is a pretty sweet Repose nonetheless. As you can see, his slogan is rock and roll, very fitting. They kind of tweaked his voice this time. I actually like it. There's a look at the box art there. You can kind of see the trading card in the back. Series 2, and down here you can see it's compatible with both Skylanders Spyro's Adventure and Skylanders Giants. Bear in mind, in SSA, Spyro's Adventure, you're not going to have the level 15 cap, you're not going to have the Wow Pow, the ability to switch upgrade pass, etc. Coming around here to the back side, we can actually see his box art right there. And then the promo for, of course, Bash, LC, Prism Break, Flashwing, and Terrapin. Bash, back and better than ever, new Wow Pow, and increased level cap to 15. Really the big draw for any Series 2 Skylander. Assuming you were a fan of the game or have been collecting and picking them up. This is Series 1 Bash. He will work just fine in Giants, has the level 15. He can basically go up 5, has a couple more heroics you can take on. Issue is, you can't switch the upgrade paths, and similarly, you will not have the Wow Pow power. The Wow Pow powers are really the big draw, in my opinion, on why you would pick up a Series 2 Skylander. Keep in mind, Bash, available in several forms now. Obviously, his Series 1 pulls, if you recall from Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, he was also in the Legendary Triple Pack. And then we also had, kind of like Translucent Blue Bash, the Toys R Us exclusive. That is probably one of the toughest, easy to come by variants to obtain. I don't know if that makes any sense, but just run with me and trust me on that one. Nonetheless, you've got to admit, while that's not a horrible pose, they added basically what his soul gem is, the Triceratops Honor Guard armor. The cool thing on Bash, if you picked Granite Dragon, it kind of upgrades, like his tail swipes and everything. You also get the fists out of the ground, kind of like we saw with several Earth Element. That's the way I went. I really enjoyed it. But the other path, Pulver Dragon, a lot of people prefer it. What's awesome on Bash is the armor, the Triceratops Honor Guard. That was actually a soul gem. So it wasn't a deal like with Slam Bam or Dino Ring where you kind of had to pick a certain path to get the armor. The armor, if you wonder, I think it was plus 40, which is a huge, huge deal. So pretty cool that they kind of highlighted that. I feel like they did a good job picking that out for Bash. Trying to cut the packaging here. Again, overall, in my opinion, the packaging is much better in Giants than they ever had it with the SSA figures. We'll go ahead and free him from his packaging. The instructions fell. I'm not going to pick him up because we don't care about that. So, I like to do, again, you're probably tired of hearing this, but in case you're just tuning in or something, I like to just break the packaging back like that. Then you can kind of grab the base and apply the pressure to the plastic and then free the toy that way. I say that because the Giants and the Light Core, both kind of finicky. You don't want to put too much pressure on them. Obviously you can lose your light up effect. That's not an issue here, but nonetheless, I guess it's good practice. What you get in addition to the packaging in Bash is his stat card. Bear in mind, the stat card doesn't really mean jack to us as far as in-game stats go, but they give it to us, so I'm going to tell you about it. His power or strength, 90 of 150. Defense or armor, 100 of 150. That is box stock. That's pretty impressive. Speed and agility, 40 of 150. And luck, 45 of 150. Then behind there, we get his sticker sheet with his name, a QR code here, web code over here for Spyro's Universe. If you took the time to pause the video because you thought you saw it earlier, don't waste your time. By the time you see this video, I will have already registered on Skylanders Universe. So, that said, we will take a look at the pose here. He seems to be a little less bulky in this one. Kind of looks like more, I guess, agile would be the word we'd want to use. Nice that his mouth's open, kind of adds an element of depth there. The Triceratops Honor Guard looks very cool in my opinion, kind of accents, his already, rugged look. And then of course back here you've got sort of the mace tail. That said, we'll compare it to the original Series 1 pose. Like I said, he just doesn't seem quite as bulky. I guess his proportions are roughly the same, but he just kind of seems slimmer and trimmer than the Series 2 pose. I guess he's been chasing after Flashwing or something. The reason I have Flashwing here, if you recall in her story background, Bash is actually who found her. She kind of crashed in form of a comet or a geode, and long story short, she blew him off a cliff. But reason I wanted to point that out and took the time to put her on the portal, Bash, obviously a dragon, but he cannot fly. It's said that he spent most of his early days in dragonhood, looking up to the sky, watching things fly, wishing he could do the same. In his vain attempt to fly, he basically developed the role. Never really got off the ground, if you will, but the good news is that basically evolved into Pulver Dragon, quite powerful. He still gets a little touchy, if you mention the fact that he can't fly, but he did join up with the Skylanders. He basically rolls through anything that gets in his way, has a nice slogan in rock and roll. Like I say, Bash is one of those characters you could just literally, at least last time in Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, you could take Bash, open him up, throw him on the Portal of Power, and he would just obliterate virtually anything. Just with his tail swipe, he dealt so much damage. I mean, it was just almost, like he felt he needed to be handicapped or something. Once you upgrade him, it just got that much easier to clear an area. I think that's probably why, he's kind of such a fan favorite. And while it seems extreme to have Blue Bash and the Legendary, I guess in the sense that he's kind of so powerful, it wasn't too bad. Haven't actually heard anything about his WoW POW. I've heard a few that are really good, some are lackluster, but hadn't actually heard on Bashes. I'm interested to check that out. But again, I picked mine up at Toys R Us in person. $9.99 is a price for a single pack. I guess he was the one I got for half price. So, watch for the sales; they'll help you out. As far as will he be in a triple pack, I'm pretty sure he will be. Who will be in the triple pack with him, I have no clue. Obviously, what they like to do is usher out the single packs in force, kind of like we see with, Hex, Drill Sergeant, Flame Slinger, etc., Tariff and Slam Bam, and then you don't really know who's going to be in the triple pack. So it becomes an issue for most people. You either A, pick them up because you think they're going to go away, or B, you want them really bad. My deal, like I said, I kind of planned to wait, but ultimately, just with the sale, I'm actually coming out on top, in my opinion. So just kind of went that route. Plus, it's honestly easier to unbox, get to focus on the one character. Like I said, this is a very, very good repose. He looks slim, trim, ready to battle. Cool thing with this one, since he can switch pass in a Series 2 pose, I will actually be able to try out Pulver Dragon. And then if I'm not a fan, or if I liked Granite Dragon better, I can just, switch back. And we will have the WoW POW. Of course, I'm very interested to see what that one is. It's got an interesting story. He's, like I said, a beast, literally in story mode. He's also great in battle mode, provided you can kind of, know your enemy or opponent well enough to dodge their attacks with him. But close quarters, he is about as good as it gets in terms of Skylanders. Again, $9.99 retail. Do not pay more than that. If you can't find him, just be patient. I have noticed he and Hex, I would have to say, Flame Slinger at times, those single packs seem to be the toughest to find right now in terms of the giants. I want to say Bash, at least where I'm at, has been the toughest to find. I don't know if that's because they've produced fewer or if he's more popular. Hex, I can usually, if I dig enough, I can find one. Flame Slinger here lately has been insanely hard to find. I was actually going to order one from Toys R Us to cash in on their sale with a couple other things this past weekend. Of course, they were out of stock, so go figure. But Bash, if you can't find the single pack, check a few more stores. Maybe tell an employee you're looking for them or something. Don't think you'll have too much of a hard time. Just your basic outlets: Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Toys R Us, and then of course GameStop. GameStop, in all honesty, I guess it's just because they don't have the sales. They've actually been pretty much the best place to find what you're looking for locally for me. That said, because of sales, I don't really buy from them. When I could buy one, get one half off. But bottom line, just with your basic retail stores and then those same outlets online, including Amazon, I think you'll be able to track them down pretty easy. If you can wait it out, or you want to wait it out, or funds require you to wait it out, may be able to snag him in a triple pack. It's just at this point in time, I don't know who or what. As soon as I learn that, it'll be up on the blog, though. Speaking of that, questions, comments, you can ask on YouTube, but I can't stress enough that if it's important, or if it's, something you feel is real critical, take the blog link in the video description. It'll take you right to this post. You can ask your question or make your comment there. I'll get to it much, much quicker than I can on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. As always, thanks for watching, and as Bash would say, rock and roll.